Guys, Monday. What a beautiful Monday it was here. They forecast a 99% chance of rain, and for once they actually got it right. But it let off, and it was one of those days where it was just like the other day I was telling you about. Started off, got to the job, sat and had some coffee with my buddy, and the rain stopped, and we decided, because we're working rebuilding that porch, got that going, and then it got like it was gonna rain, and then it got like it was gonna be really nice, and then the fog rolled in. It was just like the only thing it didn't do today was, that thing didn't do that. A couple of guys have made a comment, and of course the biggest whiner of the bunch being Chuck. This is a new camera, and evidently the microphone works very well, and the whine that you hear, other than Chuck, which is a daily thing. God, I don't even know what life would be like if Chuck was like struck by lightning or took a head injury and became somebody different. The sound that you hear is one of two things, and it gets amplified when it's both of them. That refrigerator or that refrigerator. I thought about maybe putting them both on a circuit where I could isolate them and just turn them off while I was doing this, but I tried that with the sub pump before, and because every now and then, that goes off, and right now I'm living on the wild side. Sometimes it pumps outside, and sometimes it pumps somewhere else, and that used to be that sound that could be heard every now and then, sounding like a beluga whale throwing up in the basement. And whenever my good friend JD was listening, he said whenever he heard that sound, he was compelled to pee. So right now it actually is triggered to go outside. But just to try to do my best to make you guys happy, I turned the dial on this one to like almost off, but in case I forget all about it, at least the beer won't get warm, because this is not PA Brew News. And it's ice cold. And what is it today? It's going to be Elliott's Phoned Home Pale Ale from Cedar Creek. Things I can tell you about this is it's 36 IBUs, so it's relatively mild. And again, I don't have an alcohol percentage. This is another one from Johnnie. That's right. He's not from Texas anymore. He's from France. It's Johnnie and Watson. Wow, that was brewed in East Texas. What else do I have for you? Politics? Another surprise. Whenever something good happens, of course, one of the people that posts every single time he runs across one is Pete up on Facebook. Whenever a crime is stopped with a gun, my good friend Steve, he was my best man just recently at my wedding. He sent me a liberal thing. That bullshit that they like to put out there, like having a gun in the house makes it, well, the numbers are right. If there was no gun in the house, then there'd be no chance of being shot by a gun. But it's got all the stats, like the suicide rate with a gun goes up by 14% if there's a gun in the house, and blah blah blah. It's like anything. The liberal douchebags, oh, I'm sorry, I was supposed to be kinder and gentler about the retard libtards, They like to use any data, well, they make most of the shit up, unfortunately, that works in their behalf when it comes to gun stats, but you never hear about any of the other ones. But yeah, he sent me a picture, and it's got all the liberal marching bullshit. You know, it's like, here's the bottom line. Maybe if something bad were to happen, you know, say someone just has it in for you, you know, maybe they even know that you carry. Yeah, there's lots of ways around that. I can, not to sound cruel or anything, but, you know, if you or me wanted somebody dead, it's, you can't stop crazy is what the problem is. And anywhere that the gun has been banned, they just start killing people with knives and hammers and cars. But in this particular scenario, it's another just tasteless example of, oh bummer, using it once again to fuel the fire for his agenda. Because the powers that run the puppet, which he is, want us disarmed. I mean, you can't throw like a 90% tax at somebody, or you know, all the other bullshit that they would throw in place, knowing that we would revolt. There'd be another revolution. Well, you can't have a revolution if you take the guns away. And Obama just uses, I mean, that's what he is. You know, I like that. He's a Constitution attorney. Yeah, he was like, you know, learning all about odds and statistics so you could gamble and win. He's a Constitution attorney because he's a piece of shit, and he wants to figure out every way to fuck us and circumvent what our founding fathers and our men and women in the military fought and died for our rights. Jim's right. Fuck that. Vote Hornet Fixer, because he will get shit done. Damn it, I haven't even had a drink yet, and I had a drink, but not this drink, and I'm already pissed off. Who the fuck is that? Just kidding. Sorry, I blew up right there. I wasn't going to answer it. I was going to, like, throw it or something. Okay, so it has a brownish sort of, and by now, Palette P.A. Brewers is like, there's so many minutes in and he hasn't even taken a drink yet. Love you, Paul. Wow, that would be a screw up, wouldn't it? Oh! Not much in smell, which sometimes is a very good thing. You know, the halfway test. I don't know, maybe most people don't know way about the halfway test. You know, if you're halfway, you know, down, if you're down there, if you're heading down there and you're halfway and it's already going bad, not a good sign. It's the halfway test. A little caramel. Good God. Evidently, well, I wasn't really in the sun, but there still is thermal radiation making its way through the clouds. Cheers, guys. Actually, this is like, boy, I don't know, some of you guys come and go, and I have the cup koozie around here someplace. This is reminding me of something. That's where I'm going. Sorry. That's where I'm going with this. I don't know where the hell it went. One of you guys sent me, I think it was something from the East Coast area, and it was a bitters, and it was very good. Actually, probably would get a 10 today, and back when I just was a beer idiot, when I was E of B and E, this is reminding me of that, like a good English bitter beer, but it's like a light version of the last one I had. Which is funny because I'm comparing it with an English bitter, and it had what, 36 for an IBU rating. Good excuse just to pour more into the glass. Look at that, another successful pour. Yeah, it has kind of a up front. It's kind of a grassy earthiness. Thank you. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Grassy earthiness. Almost not really a roasted malts, but you know, a little bit of it's got flavors. It's got good flavors. I mean, if you could intensify this, I guess like I guess they would be the Imperial Elliott's Phoned Home Pale Ale. I mean, it is a pale ale, and they're usually not known for being overly bold on flavors, and it's probably exactly what they were going for. But it's almost like right up front, it's almost like it's gonna become a lemony kind of a flavor, but it doesn't completely go through. But the more I think about lemon, the more it has a lemony flavor. A little bit of a dry, bitter middle, obviously. 36 IBUs. It's not real bitter. And then kind of a blend with just a little bit of a biscuit. You know, not a dog biscuit, but you know, like a club cracker kind of a biscuit finish, and then it's gone. No harshness, no aftertaste. I mean, what it leaves behind is just kind of like a blended version of the whole thing. Almost what it leaves behind is a really subtle, like, iced tea. Alcohol. Here we go again. Maybe 6. I don't know. 6. I'm just gonna go with 6%. I mean, something like this for a daily drinker. I mean, again, other than talking to Johnnie and finding out what they, I don't know if that's a 4-pack, is it the bigger cans, or if it's a 6-pack, and how it compares. But I mean, I'd happily go this route versus any kind of a Pilsner or any, you know, as far as a daily drinker goes. It's got decent flavor. It's not overdone, which brings me to the point of yesterday's, the La Freak. And I made a comment that I felt that it would go that way, and it's exactly what kind of happened. If it was a smaller bottle, you probably get through it and go, that wasn't bad. I don't want another one of those tonight, but there's more in the fridge. I'll drink them up eventually. The big bottle, oh, excuse me, I suppose I was about 75% of the way through it, and it was just like, it had kind of turned from like fun to almost an effort. You know, it's just started to get just a little overwhelming on the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't the IPA part of it, because after that, I switched to IPAs and vodka. Okay. Elliott's Phoned Home Pale Ale from Cedar Creek. Not bad. Not bad at all. On the E scale, again, I'd probably say something like, for a pale ale, it's got a lot of decent flavor in it. I'd say an 8. Yeah. And tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow, might be, depending on what time I get home, because my Sammy Poo has Tuesday and Wednesday off this week, and we're she wanted to take me out for Father's Day, a Father's Day dinner yesterday, but she didn't get done until 8 o'clock, and maybe when you start with vodka for breakfast, it makes for a cliff-noted day, but I wasn't going to go have dinner at 8 o'clock last night. So, and I don't know if she's still watching these or not, but the other night me and Christine went to GB Schneider's, our little, I wouldn't call it a hole in the wall. It was a very nice restaurant that closed down, that was in there, which doesn't make any sense to me at all. Coincidentally, it's called Grandma's, the people that actually started the Grandma's Marathon, the geriatric marathon. And for some reason, they couldn't keep that one open, which sucked because, we like the food and it's like, 4 minutes from here. Well, they closed down, and a gentleman named Gary, probably the G, probably whatever the B is probably, his middle name, and Schneider, I wouldn't be surprised if it's his whole name, but J.B. Schneider, Gary opened it up, and it was a typical, 1/3 of it is a bar and eating area, and then they have their main restaurant, and we've been going there long enough that someone that's become a friend, and she's also the bartender and waitress, Vanessa. She normally, I guess, she doesn't make it a habit of staying there after she's done working. Of course, most of the time the place is closed when she's done working, but evidently they had called her in for like 4 hours, and that was like a noon to like 4 thing, so she decided to just hang out, and every single time she had thought about leaving, another one of her regular customers came in, so she it was like bouncing around, socializing and having cocktails. And by the time we got there, it's like we walked through the door, and she's just like, "Hey!" Practically screams it. And I mean, it's like I was like, 4 feet away from her. And she eventually came over, and she goes, "I want to buy you guys a drink. Christine, do you want your usual?" And she's like, "No, I'm not actually feeling that good. I'm just having water." "Well, I'll get you one of those." And then she's just like, You want another tall?" I would just happen to be having a awesome, the Castle Danger. Another great beer. So yeah, she ended up buying us because water doesn't cost anything. So buying me a 22-ounce Castle Danger, and sat and talked and socialized and found out more about her than we normally would know. Not more than we needed to know, but yeah, that was pretty cool. So Vanessa, thanks. I know you've watched the brewery reviews, because I've come in and had things that were on tap and then gone out and searched for them, and then doing brewery reviews on it. So Vanessa, my dear, if you see this, thanks for the drink the other night. That was fun. It's a damn shame that every time we're in there, you're usually working. We've been going there for years, and this was the first time that you weren't working, but definitely having fun. Okay, so tomorrow, Tuesday. Something of mine. Something from, let's do the one from Tardisius. Covered in packing peanuts. State Pen Porter. Santa Fe Brewing. 6.4% it is on there. So we get to look at a porter tomorrow. Other than my outburst that I've already had when it comes to politics, I guess I really don't have anything else. You know, liberals do what liberals do. They try to steal our freedom, pass shit in the dark of night, or you know, make everybody go, hey, look here. Well, over here they're going, it's a damn shame. Because me and my buddy Steve, we actually had this conversation. It's like, how is it that someone you may know that seems like a logical person and someone that thinks could possibly be a libtard? Because, I'm sorry, but they obviously don't give a shit about their country. They don't give a shit about their children. I mean, anybody that signs on and stands behind Obama at all, look at the national debt. Who's going to pay that? I mean, most of us, you know, if you're in my age category, you know, I've already wondered if this piece of shit has gambled my retirement away, let alone my children. I mean, I just don't understand how anybody that actually spends a second using that gray ball of matter between their ears could possibly be a liberal. I mean, I thought liberalism was just reserved for total idiots, which I think it is. I mean, obviously you don't care about your children, and you don't care about this country, and you definitely don't give a shit what our founding fathers put in place. Because if our founding fathers here, there would be, Lord knows what would be happening if our founding fathers would hear. First of all, if they were somehow superheroes and they were never allowed to die, we would never have gone in the direction we've gone now. Everything that used to be wrong is now right. You know, it's like, if you even question something, some liberal piece of shit will categorize you. Like, I can't make comments about Obama because I'm obviously a racist. Really? Fuck you. How about Obama is just a worthless piece of shit puppet who has the Hitler mentality and wants to control everybody? And if it isn't obvious, then obviously you're brain dead. And 577 days for everybody that just loves to hear that number. 577 days that our Constitution can continue to be stomped on and your freedoms can be taken away. I mean, you know, that piece of shit sits in the Oval Office, you know, after, you know, packing away some candle holders and some linen and shit in his to-go bag when he's out of here, thinking, gosh, I hope some lunatic kills somebody with a gun so I can further my agenda. In a way, so do I, just one person in particular. Having said that, cheers, guys. We will, no, that would be paper cut, vicious paper cut, like 1,000 of them. Whoops, I forgot to fuel Air Force One. These are scenarios I like. Hey, hey Obama, how about a free trip on the space shuttle? We just outfitted it with some retro O-rings that we found in a stash. No? Okay. Okay, guys. Cheers. We'll see you tomorrow. And we'll take a look at that porter. Stay safe. And again, thank you for everybody that put forth the Father's Day thing. Gotta take it serious. And you don't know. Not only, and this goes out to one person that unfortunately knows more than most of us. Not only do they grow up extremely fast, but you don't know how much time you have, and you don't know how much time you have with them. So take advantage of every single moment. And like me, we can fight these little battles one little fire at a time, because I know in my situation I've got one for sure that questions every single time somebody says anything positive about a liberal or Obama, and I love it, because it's not just like because she's just like me, but what comes out of her mouth is obviously thought about. So it's like, not only does she think like me, but she's able to back it up with her own ideas. So that's a big cheers to my Samantha. So okay, guys, see you tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, maybe.